So today's, the topic of this video, I'll be talking about my experience with my psychologist. I'll divide it into three parts. First part is mental pain. Second part is suicide, and third part is happiness. So how I found her was my GP didn't have anyone that he wanted to recommend because I live so far from him. So I found just some random one from around where I live, and then booked an appointment with her. For looking at her profile, she specialized in patients with suffering from renal problems, so they're probably on dialysis. And I didn't really have any expectation of any expectations when I go in. Most of my friends and colleagues tell me that they didn't find psychologists helpful at all. They also told me that they felt, they're being judged, and I don't know, they didn't like it much. And also a big thing is that their psychologists not gonna make your problem go away. You still be experiencing the pain. So I don't have too much much hope of what to expect. But looking back now, I've found that she's probably the most helpful person that I've dealt with for my chronic pain. So no, she's really good. So the first thing that we'll probably be talking about is mental pain. One of the first things she quickly got me thinking was that she asked me to rate my physical pain, and I said 3 out of 10. And then she asked me what my mental pain is, and I knew exactly where she was going, because my mental pain was probably a 9 out of 10. So after realizing that a lot of my pain is actually mental pain and not really actual physical pain, for me anyway, that helps. And what she tells me to do is just to try to get it into equilibrium where the mental pain and physical pain actually matches up. But saying that, when I got out of the session, it still wasn't too sure what to expect. Just because you understand it doesn't really mean that it will be helpful, but it's good to know. So techniques that she told me to do was just to be in the presence, to be mindful. So if you get into your mental pain, for me it was a vicious cycle of thoughts. She told me to describe the things that you feel, describe the things that you see, and describe the things that you can hear. And I think there's probably something else as well. But you have to be really quite detailed about it. You can't just say I can't just tell her I can see a book. I have to tell her what's the title of the book. So that kind of gets you out of the just being in the presence. So whether the technique works, I think it does help when it gets really, really bad and my mental pain is really bad. I have to, even though it's probably legit that my mental pain is that bad, but when you can't cope, you really just need to get out. And she taught me how to get out, but for how long, who knows. It takes practice, I guess. The other thing that we analyzed was that it's probably quite personal. It's the way that I deal with problems, and there's 3 ways I tend to how I deal with problems. And one of them is to expect the worst. So if some problem is going to arise, I expect the worst, and when it comes, say it's normal is here, I expect the worst. And when the results come out, it's here, I won't feel as bad. So that's one of the ways that I deal with problems. Another way that I deal with problems is to control it. So I'll go online and search for all the information I can get to solve my problem. I have to control this, control that. What else do I control? How do I control things? I don't know. I just control things. Going to get an MRI scan, going to the physio, finding a better physique, just being in control, really. And I don't know. I expect if I control things, I can affect the outcome. And the third way that I deal with problems is that I try to outthink it and outsmart it. So as a pharmacist, you're trying to solve problems and you have to think your way around it. If any of my friends got a problem, I help them think, help them, give them ideas how to solve their problems. So after telling you guys these three things, how I deal with problems, obviously you realize they're not helpful. They're not helpful with this chronic pain. With chronic pain, it doesn't help. I cannot expect the worst, because if I expect the worst, sure, the problem goes away in a month. But if I expect the worst all the time, and there's no definitive